with us for another Tuesday afternoon here. Well, this is the program that is geared towards our students and is geared towards youth and all things young people. It's my pleasure to welcome you each week. Each week we have a different exciting topic that we discuss, and I am not alone each week. I have my great co-host with me, looking very sharp today. Hi, Reverend Sam, how you do?
I am fine, sir. How are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. How was the weekend for you, Rev? I guess we're going to be connecting there with Rev shortly. Want to thank you again, as I said, for joining us for another episode inside Campus Connection. And every time, every day, there's something newsworthy, there's some new information that's arise, and we want to connect with you right here and tell you about it. So, Pastor Sam, what are the regular features that we have in our program?
Well, you know
Today?
them very well, Floyd. You know it by heart. We have the word of the day. We have education news and the bulletin, not just the news, but and bulletin brought to us by our partners for the month of April. That's Raheem Betty. He's a final year student at the Northern Caribbean University. And then we'll have Campus Tune, not tune, but tune. Oh, yeah. New week, new tune. That's right.
And also, inside of our Let's Talk About It segment, we'll be taking a look at navigating education and the real world with a disability during COVID. So it's already hard navigating this world, but I think it is much more challenging when you have a disability. So our guest this evening will be Jadine Garvey. She's a final year student there at the University of Technology with a major in computer science, who suffered from multiple strokes, disabling the left side of her body, and is diagnosed with sickle cell disease. Wow, this is, she is a hero. And also Tonika Williams. Tonika is actually the CEO at Creative Minds Business Development Services, who is legally blind, but she is focused on her ability and not her disability. Wow. We're also going to be having Jada Cohen. Jada is a student at the Denby High School. That's the Denby High School. And she's a sixth form student who has dyslexia. And she will be joining us also to discuss, having these different various disabilities and going through the education process. Exciting stuff. Let's talk about it, Reverend Sam.
Indeed. Indeed. And also to come this evening inside the show, our testimonial feature called I Tried Christ, You Should Too, where students encourage other students to try Jesus too. Yes, we are inviting all our students to listen to that. So be sure to stay connected with us all evening. That's right. And we invite you to connect with us on our WhatsApp line. That's 876-997-3125. And I know that you know that by heart already, but let me repeat it for you. It's 876-997-3125. We're also live on Facebook and also on YouTube. So be sure to connect with us. Listen, we're going to take a break right now, right, Floyd? And then we'll return after these messages.
For your youth, break that life that I know my food. Plus man, I was a tune. I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man, I am a man.
It's the final Wednesday inside April. And you know what the man them do on the last Wednesday? It's Integrity Wednesday. Inside the mailbox. Tune in this Wednesday, April 28th, with host Kevin Bailey at 5:30 p.m. inside the mailbox with our integrity guest, music producer, justice of the peace, and husband to Carleen Davis, Thomas Cohen, better known as Tommy Cohen. Be sure to tune in at 5:30 p.m. to hear about the importance of having values and character in his family, marriage, and to add to his music. He'll also share with us about his experience of his not one, not two, but 4 recent surgeries. It's all things integrity with Tommy Cohen this Wednesday inside the program designed for men, hosted by men, and with guests who are men. It happens this and every Wednesday with yours truly, Courtney Morrison and Kevin Bailey here on Love 101, the family station. Monday.
Where the student them see we are. Where the student see we are. I want to go on campus. We are.
What is happening on campus? We have the answer right here on Campus Connection. This is where you come to get all things campus. So you are inside Campus Connection right here on Love 101, and you know that this is the top family station in Jamaica. I am Stevenson Samuel Wells, and with me is my co-host Floyd Wilson. That's right. And we are here on this great station, Love 101. It's now time for the word of the day. And our word of the day is...
Impresario.
Let's
Impresario.
go. Right. Impresario. What part of speech is that? Well, while you think about that, impresario is the promoter or the manager or conductor of an opera, or a company or a person who puts on or sponsors an entertainment such as a television show or sports event. Yes, impresario. And by now you should know that that's a noun. Yes. So using the word in a sentence, the former heavyweight retired from the ring and later became a boxing impresario. Floyd, you don't have to put it in a sentence anymore. They have done that for us. But if you want to put it in a sentence, Floyd, you can go ahead.
Yes, I think, Rev, you make a great impresario, you know? You're a great promoter manager, you know, of various events. Not necessarily the opera, but, you know, various other events or a boxing match, but other things, you know. Might be up a tent meeting or, you know, something like that. Well. That's it for our word for today. Well, it's a brand new week, so we have some brand new stories. It's now time for our education news, and also we have our bulletin. Our education news is brought to us this week by our student partner for the month of April. That's Mr. Raheem Betty. He's a final year student there at the Northern Caribbean University. Hi, Raheem. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Hi, welcome to Education News here inside Campus Connection. I am Raheem Betty. Opposition Senator Damian Crawford is urging the government to resume face-to-face classes for students sitting Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC subjects, as thousands of Jamaican children struggle to prepare for the external examination. Crawford wants the face-to-face classes to be conducted in a secure, controlled environment, a bubble, in a school where students are preparing to sit the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE papers. He stated that an education bubble would be one where the students who are doing CXC will stay on the school campus for about 6 weeks. He argued that a bubble at the school would increase the time of exposure for students, reduce their travel, and also reduce their chance of contracting the novel coronavirus. He added that staying for that period of time allows for the total hours of exposure to be achieved, even though it is within a constrained time. It's now time for Campus Bulletin. It's ISCF Week 2021, and the Wilmer's Boys and Girls, ISCF, presents their ISCF Week of activities under the theme, Jesus Christ, the Perfect Foundation, which commenced yesterday, April 26th, and will run until Thursday, April 29th. Be sure to tune in Friday, April 30th for their Grand ISCF virtual concert, streaming live on the Wilmer's Girls YouTube channel. For more information, visit Wilmer's ISCF on Instagram. The St. Andrew Technical High School presents their ISCF Week under the theme, Going Viral, Reaching Youth for Christ. With a week of activities which runs throughout this week, with activities like Zoom party, virtual concert, movie day, and care package distribution. Passion and Purity presents Family Week 2021 under the theme Family Matters from April 26th through to Sunday, May 2. The week of activities will include prayer, close group discussions, marriage conference, singles forum, and more. For more information and meeting ID, visit Passion and Purity Facebook page and YouTube channel. And that's all we have here inside Education News on Campus Connection. I am Raheem Betty.
Hey, wonderful, wonderful. I want to thank Raheem very much for sharing with us on Campus Connection on the whole business of what's happening on campuses these days. So there you have it, our education news for today, brought to us by Raheem Betty, who was our student partner inside campus, or inside rather, education news for the entire month of April. Raheem, we want to say a big thanks to you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Raheem.
for having me. Thank you.
Yes.
I might come
Yeah,
and work with you guys soon.
of course, of course. You
That
just come
sounds
up
good.
with the
That
big
sounds
shot.
good.
You'll be the manager. No, so yeah, CEO might have pick up the head. Oh, thank you very much, Raheem, for your dedication
No
and your
problem.
time. Yes, it was a pleasure
Thank
really
you.
having Raheem inside the show every Tuesday inside April. Yes, wishing you all the very best, my friend, in your endeavors. So go with God, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
God bless you, Raheem. It was great having you in our education news and bulletins. God bless you, my friend. Well, now it's time for our campus tunes, and where we drop a song that we feel is buzzing amongst our young people and our campus sites. So tune into this one. This one is by Dane Kesey, and this one is called Sweeter.
My Jesus sweeter than sugar cane, yeah. And his love is stronger than a hurricane. My Jesus sweeter than sugar cane, yeah. And his love is stronger than a hurricane. Yeah. See, I know your struggles. I feel your pain, yeah. I know you're hurting, but it will be okay, yeah. Let me tell you about your man I know who can dry all your tears away. All you got to do is just let me believe his ways. Oh, yeah. My Jesus sweeter than sugar cane, yeah. And his love is stronger than a hurricane. My Jesus sweeter than sugar cane, yeah. And his love is stronger than a hurricane.
Yeah. That one there by Dane Kesey, Sweeter. You know, Jesus loves sweeter than a sugar cane. Yeah, more powerful than a hurricane. The man using
Right.
the metaphor them big time.
Indeed. That's right. Jesus is sweeter than sugarcane. And I just had sugarcane before I came into this program. I'm gonna tell you, the sugarcane when me eat, it's sweet. Hey, the Rasta man that was selling sugarcane, we don't know. Him look like him have a a sweetened tester. Now test the sugarcane when buy. I tell you,
I
it's
get,
nice.
I guess what, Rev? You know, Jesus sweeter than a cane there.
Here I am, bigging up the sugar cane, and my co-host is just rebuking me and carrying me right back to.
This is one cane lover to our next to the guys. I love my sugar cane, you know, so I know what you're talking about.
I tell you, Hey, it's time to get right into our Let's Talk About It segment. So, COVID-19 shows that the pandemic has increased psychological distress, both in the general population and especially in high risk groups. And that is so very true. Students with disabilities, therefore, are negatively affected by the classroom shutdown in many, many ways. They lose access to play with their friends and important social learning opportunities, which are usually equally important for development and learning. Many people don't realize that. So, student personal responsibility for health and hygiene simply cannot be actively practiced by students with disability, especially with regard to toileting, feeding, and other hygiene practices that others take for granted.
Yeah, excellent. So today, in light of that, Rev, we are going to be having a talk with three individuals who are amongst the most vulnerable in our society. That's Jada Cohen. Jada is a student at the University of. Um, Jada is a student. I just had it recently. She's also a student. She's going to tell us where she is from. We also, Jada is from the Denby High School. We have also with us Jadine Garvey, and we have Tonika Williams, who also is a disability, but she's a CEO, and was at some point in time, she went through university herself. So we're going to be having a great talk with them. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good
Welcome.
evening.
Thank you for having me.
Floyd, did you mention that we also
Hello.
have Tanika? Did
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mention
yeah.
we also
It's
have Tanika?
Tanaiko. It's Tanaiko.
Oh my gosh, Tanika. Tanika just correct me immediately, you know, man.
Derived from my father, Mr. Anthony Williams, King Anthony.
I tell you. Yeah, yes, good to have you, Tanika.
Yes.
All right. So, as I said, Rev, we want to remind our listeners that we are live on Facebook right now, and we're also on YouTube. And we want to remind you that at 6:25 p.m. this evening, we're going to be having our feature, I Tried Christ, You Should Too. So be sure to listen to that one. So right now, we're going to be having a little chit chat with our wonderful guests. So let's just dive straight into it. Jada, let's start off with you. Jada, you're a student there at the Denby High School. Tell us, how has your 2021 been so far? Especially from a school standpoint.
Um, well, for me personally, has its ups and downs because there is one point where I was at school face to face, but then when the cases started to increase, I had to, come back online and, it rough, rough because,
Yeah,
if sometimes my teachers, internet issues where, we teacher discuss and reach heat at the conversation and you understand and then boops, Wi-Fi just cut and gone. So, it's part of the struggles.
yeah, it has been challenging. I know about that, Jadine, Jada rather. The struggle is real. Jadine, what about you? You want to tell us how your 2021 has been so far?
It's been good so far. So this is my final year at UTech.
Yes.
So I've been out since last year March, strictly online learning, and it's gone pretty well.
Nice, 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 nice. Um, so, Tanika,
Yes, sir.
you want to tell us about your 2021? How has it been so far? Before you tell us a little bit more about the business.
Well, 2020, let me start from there, if you will, quickly. It was a really challenging year because I got a chance to experience the COVID in terms of learning online in regards to UE. But 2021, as a businesswoman, I had my ups and downs, but with Christ in the vessel, I just continue to smile at the storm.
Excellent. Well, it, Floyd did say that he would have asked you tonight about the business that you're in, Creative Minds. You want to give us a little idea of what Creative Minds is all about?
Sure, sir, no problem. So Creative Minds at K Business Development Services is that one of a kind online business registered, operated in Kingston, Jamaica. The target audience is persons with special needs, but despite that, I cater to the wider public as well. So if you want to learn about podcasting services, we have it. If you want to learn about motivational speaking services, we got it. Elevator pitch business training, we got that as well. Also, we do audio editing needs.
Okay. Wow, that's a very impressive lineup of services there being offered by Creative Minds. And how far gone is the business to date, Tanika? Is it employing persons as yet? Is it in full operation, or it is in the conceptual stage? Um, what has business been like since you've opened? Tell us a little about your business.
Well, shout outs to all my Instagram people as well who are tuning live. But I started back in 2018. I sat down, I conceptualized, I developed, I researched, analyzed the business idea in order to release to the public. And along with my mentor, Mr. Wilbert Williams, who also does podcasting and consulting with my parents and lecturers and friends and my sisters, you know, they gave me that push to go right ahead and start. And there I started back in 2019, really and truly. Culturama with Diva podcast was born, and then from that podcast, I decided to expand and form a business. From that, shout out to Mr. Sidney Thorpe, recording artist, international broadcaster from Fab Five, Stage Records. He is my audio editor, along with Mr. Damian Rose. Those two gentlemen has been behind me, pushing me, giving me the drive, and assisting with the creativity. We want to get you out there to build your brand, get out of that box, and be you, be yourself. Just be creative.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, we're going to be delving some more with these wonderful guests that we have here, Rev. I'm so impressed with Tanika, and just the fact that she came up with an idea and she went out and she did it. Well, guys, you who are listening, we are tuned to Campus Connection here on Love 101. We're having a discussion with some students and about navigating the education industry, or navigating their studies while having a disability. And we also have a guest, past student who is also a business owner. We're going to take a break right now for a time signal. We'll be right back after these messages. Well, I take it. Well, time signal
Young people are hard from campus. Oh Lord, that's a one campus connection. Oh no. Let me tell you, say I love it there. I love it there.
Bosses, be considerate. Deuteronomy 24 verse 14 says, "You shall not oppress a hired servant who is poor and needy." Let's work together to make Jamaica a gentler, kinder society. A message from the Church of the Open Bible, 12 Washington Boulevard. Join in our worship service Sundays at 8 a.m. right here on Love 101.
The world has changed drastically. Are you ready to face it? The University of the West Indies, the Caribbean's #1 university, can get you ready. Because while everyone else is trying to adapt, we are ready to prepare you for what lies ahead. So secure your future by investing in yourself and make your dreams the next big thing with a degree from the UWI Mona. Apply today at mona.uwi.edu.
Jamaicans, our brothers and sisters in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have been displaced by recent volcanic eruptions and need our help. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has set up a relief fund to supplement the logistic support being offered by the Jamaican government. Play your part by donating to Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management ODPEM account number 212-387-304 at National Commercial Bank, Oxford Place Branch. That's account number 212-387-304. Account name ODPEM. We are one Caribbean. Let's all lend a helping hand. A message from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Tell me what go on. Campus connection, and that a go on campus. Young people are go hard from campus. Come on, tell me what go on. Campus connection, tell me what I go on.
That's right. We're right here inside Campus Connection, and Campus Connection is aired every Tuesday between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. On the family station. And riddle me this, riddle me that. What is the number one family station in Jamaica? And Floyd wants to say the word. What
Love
station is it?
101.
Love
Love 101.
101.
Ah, that's right.
Everyone
That's
agrees.
right. And our guest this evening really is a reflection of the fact that we are a family station. All right. And we have three guests with us this evening, and all of them are having some disability or the other, but yet still they are pressing through. One is at university, one is at high school, and one is a university graduate who now has her own business. Well, um, I would like for them to just remind me of the disability so that, Jamaica can understand that it is not a fluke, it is not a joke. This is authentic here. Who is going first?
I'll
Tanika?
go first.
Okay, go ahead.
My disability rather is a learning disability, so it would be harder for me in terms of grasping information because I'm dyslexic, and in essence, what that means, I'll get information and I'll just mix it up. So, for example, if I'm reading, like if I say the word, if I say first, and if I'm supposed to write it, I would mix up like R and I. And if I'm doing math, if I know the answer to the question is six, I know that the answer is six, but I'll write nine. So it's kind of where my brain mix up information, but I know it. So I'm able to speak fluently, but writing and sometimes talking, affects me. So that's what I
Yeah,
deal with on a daily basis.
right. And is this Jodine that we are talking here now?
Yes,
No,
this is just
Jada.
Jada, right. So Jada, let me ask you, just for me to learn a little more, how then would you be able to get to 6-4 if you're having that kind of challenge? I mean, if you're writing 9 for 6 and 6 for 9, but that's what we do in Jamaica regularly. We give people a
Right.
6 for a 9.
I mean,
But
it's just an example, but it's deeper than that too. But
yeah,
I would have to say it's the grace of God, because if it wasn't for Him, I don't think I'd be where I am today. I'm currently, I have 8 subjects, and
wow,
I'm going to UTech August coming to study journalism, which is one of my passions. And
yeah,
it I'm just grateful for the teachers that I've had and still have in my life, and the friends that I have, because I have really supportive friends. Because sometimes when like dictating, I have to listen and then write, and that's a lot for me. So sometimes like I'll like skip a word and then move on, because it to me and to the teacher it'd be annoying to keep asking them to repeat, because I'm not the only student that's in the class, and I have other students in the class. So I would sit beside a friend, and if I miss out a word, and whenever dictation is finished, my friend would just hand me the notebook, and I would just fill in whatever words I would have in.
yeah,
So having the support system that I have, I'm just
yeah.
tremendously grateful.
Amazing. Hey, I have one more question for her, Floyd. Is that okay?
Yeah, man, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, one more question. One of the things they say about dyslexic persons is that whilst they may have challenges, uh, engaging academically, sometimes they have also another uh, part of their academic brain is more developed than the average person. Like they are ahead of the class in that one particular area. Would that be the situation with you, Jada?
For me, based on what people have said for me, that my reasoning ability is like it sometimes it amazes them in a sense, because like
Hmm.
while one of my classmates will look at something like, for example, a fingernail clip, and that it used to cut fingernails, I can look at it a different way and say, oh, I can use it cut probably like a piece of string or cut like thread or something. So it's just looking at things differently. It's never
Yeah.
one sided. So that's one of the advantages.
Yes, amazing, amazing. Yeah, I've been told so. Like sometimes you're 2 grades ahead of the rest of the class in particular areas. Thanks for
Yeah, and
shedding
it
some light.
causes you to be more creative.
Yes, yes, I can see that. You really do have a creative streak, um, an imaginative streak, maybe. That is not,
I
the
do.
average person. Jadine, what about you?
Well, I have an immune disorder called sickle cell disease, which means that
Mhm.
my blood cell is my red blood cell is in form of a sickle shape. So as a result, it's just an immune disorder. And as a
Yeah.
result of that, I suffered from 3 strokes during the period from age 7 to 9. So
Mhm.
from that time, I've been living with a disability that affects my left side when I walk.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. And you say, Jodine, that you are currently at what institution?
University of Technology.
And you're doing what program?
I'm doing computer science. I'm majoring in it.
Right. Whoa. Hey, you guys are amazing, you know. When we go higher grades, at university, we are struggle to keep up. So, we don't know why.
No, no,
Right,
these,
take over the
these
thing, guys. I am dumbfounded. I'm losing it.
I guess maybe what I want to ask, Judine, even in the midst of, those difficulties and with COVID, how have you, have you had to make any serious adjustments to the way how you do your studies because of COVID? Tell us how, you know, COVID has affected you, even with the different disabilities, but how has COVID affected you also?
Well, with the COVID, when the COVID came in March last year, school just stopped. So from that time, I've been doing online learning, and it
Yes,
hasn't really impacted the way I study.
yes,
It just since I've been doing online learning, the only thing that is really affecting is like my mobility, which is kind of a plus for me because I don't have to go from class to class. I can just stay in one position and do my classes.
yeah. I am just kind of super impressed by person's motivation also. Um, just to kind of give us an insight, Jodine, persons might be listening and say, Jodine has gone through so much challenges. What is it, Jodine, that causes you to really push, even in the midst of the challenges, to succeed the way you have?
Well, from a young age, I never really considered that I had a disability because I was still able to do all the stuff I would normally do. Well, mentally, it's just I
Yes,
couldn't do the activities physically that other kids could do. But I do based on that aspect, I just try my best and just keep going. Sometimes like the day will be hard and I will like, why am I doing this? But I just have to keep pushing myself and my parents support.
yes, yes. Excellent, excellent.
Amazing.
It is, it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
I want to slip over to Nika. I got it.
You did got it. You got
Hey,
it. That's correct.
hey, flight. Tanika, I said for me, I want to pronounce it wrong again. We just catch our man. But Tanika, maybe you can touch on your disability, but also to talk to us about equality in education, because you have gone through the high school situation that Jada is now in. You have gone through. You have
Well,
gone
congrats to
through
these
the.
two young folks here. The sky's the limit, and you can do it. Just continue to trust God, and He will direct your path to success. So, my disability is retinal detachment, visually challenged. in that I'm only able to see out of one eye, which is my right eye, and nothing out of my left eye. I can see a little light in my left eye and shadow, but my right eye is, what I can see, colors, people, print, but, it has to be big, but, prefer persons read to me. So I don't know Braille. I've never been to the school for the blind like other persons, who are blind or visually impaired. So, a cousin, she had to make the letters make the letters of the alphabet out of sandpaper so I can feel them and the numbers. Now that's rather creative. And going through high school, I would receive personal assistance, to assist me in reading and writing notes. But when I exited sixth form, at the Arden High School, they do kware optima. With God as guide, we seek the best. You know, when I left sixth form, I heard about the Office of Student Services. Shout outs to Senator Dr. Floyd Morris, Mrs. Cardoza Camero, Miss McPherson, and other members of staff there. When I went there, atmosphere was just a home away from home. And, I was shy. My first year, I was not settled. I wasn't. I would admit that. But when I was going through my second, third, and fourth year, I just began to, get settled, and the volunteers were there to assist me to and from classes. These lecturers, did not see me with a disability. They just, helped me in the best way possible. There was a particular lecture, Dr. Anina Bruni, because I did a little minor in Spanish, and we had to do the Central Latino map, and she got hair gel, glue, hairpiece, cardboard box, and made the map, and I was able to feel the map. And I passed the course as a result of that creative idea. I was known as a diva on campus. And diva, diva means, that hotty, but for me, in this case, it means determined, independent, vibesy, and awesome at what I do. And it was one of those gentlemen who is visually impaired. He gave me that name on campus because of my determination, my vibe, my, my strive to success, volunteer to assist me. It's like I had 6 volunteers around me one time. So this person would do this person would do that, this person would do that, so I designate different tasks. And they're like, oh, you did that. Oh, this person did it. Oh, you managed this. And I got the assignments done. There were nights, some of them, there were sometimes those nights, some of them would stay back with me to complete those extra hours, not just complete those hours, but because of what I'm about and what I needed to achieve. They helped me. Even my father, my very own father, who would, come with me at nights to the classes. I appreciate you, Sir Williams. And, it was amazing, me holding my white cane, going about my business. People are like, you want help? I said, sure, help me, And especially at the library, because, we need to research assignments. Shout outs to Rosemary Rudsey and all the other librarians there. They would assist me with assignments, books, research. And it was just amazing. I love you. I miss you. It was just, I don't know. I love you. Obviously.
Hey, Rev, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Like, I'm thinking, I'm here, Tonika, and saying, Tonika is long time. Tonika run an organization from back in school. she had her whole workforce from long time.
Yes. Up to these days, these volunteers and I still keep in touch. Nicolette, Marika, everybody, the whole works, everybody.
Wow. Rev, I think you're muted, Rev. Okay. Rev is still with us. Let me just talk with you guys a little bit more about, there's a lot of talk now about, the vaccine and COVID. Were any of you guys infected with the virus over the past year or so?
No.
I haven't.
No.
Oh, so none of you guys had to deal with that kind of challenge. I also just want to, before I ask the next question, I see here, Reverend Sam, somebody is on YouTube making a comment. You want to? I think it's somebody. You're still muted, Rev. You're still muted. We're working on his mic there. I think I see it right. It's like naturally Nisi is saying, Jada, I'm here for support. So Jada, somebody is really picking you up and saying, they are here to support you in the midst of everything that
Yeah, my
you're going through.
friends, my friends, my support system is really good, and that's something I thank God for every day because the
Amen. I
support system that
second that.
I have, yeah, because the support system I have, because there are times, because one of the things that comes with being dyslexic, is having low self-esteem, and that's something that persons don't think about. Like there's a lot of mental health that can come into play there because it's frustrating when you know the answer and you can express
Yeah,
it, but you can't put it on paper. Like that does a lot to you. And it took me a while to be like, it's just how my brain works, and I have to literally go against how my brain is programmed. And my friends, like sometimes if I'm frustrated, I read over something to me, all right, it perfect, good. But then my friend will come and say, Jada, this not spell good, this not spell good, this not spell good. And it gets frustrating, but to have them so they can help me and correct me, and I'm just grateful. So having a
yeah,
good support system is really good. So I'm
yeah.
grateful.
Yeah, I just want to follow up with that, Jada, and just ask Jodine a question. Jada and Tanika just spoke about the community and how important that is. Tell me, Jodine, being somebody who is, disabled, but you're in college, how important was it in terms of your community around you, and how important it is for persons in your community to treat you normally, as a student?
Well, the community is very important to me as I grew up in a big family, so none of them look at me like I have a disability. So they treat me just the same. Like even people outside will see me
Yeah,
first. They say I look normal when they first see me, and they won't know I have a disability until like I walk. But the community support is very important, and it kind of encourages me. And a lot
yes,
of people say that they look up to me, which I
yes,
really, really expect to have such an impact on people.
yes. That is wonderful. Tell me, Jodine, you're studying computer science now. Tell me, what do you want to do in the future with that computer science degree, after you leave college? Where do you see, your journey taking you from here?
Well, I I would like to do some like web development
Yes,
since I'm going to be graduating soon. Like I'm very wary of the job hunting
yeah,
since the pandemic.
yes,
So in the meantime, I'm going to like do some freelancing by doing some web development, and I'm going to build up my resume or portfolio as you may have it, because with
yes.
computer science, you will never stop learning. There's always something new comes up.
Wow, wow, wow. And Jodine, you're on the brink now of, you're a final year student, you're on the brink of leaving. How do you feel about, reaching to this point, almost completing your degree? How do you feel, about, almost finishing school? Because I think you should be finished by the end of May.
Yes, I feel so glad because there's some moments like where like, oh, the course hard, and you don't know why you do this degree, but then like when you complete and you get through and you see what you have done, it's really
Yes,
encouraging.
wonderful, wonderful. Jada, you're on the, the last leg also of high school. How do you feel about,
Yes,
going through high school and taking on the next stage? You say you want to go to UTech and study journalism. Tell me about that. Before you tell me that, I just want to pick up our comments here on YouTube. This is Mr. Lewis is saying her improvement is immeasurable. So that is Mr. Herman Lewis. I don't know if any of you guys know Herman Lewis. He's saying that
that's my teacher.
improvement.
That's my teacher.
Wow, wow. And somebody here is also saying, this is Kashina James, is saying, you guys are amazing. So some comments coming in there online, really bigging you guys up. But Jada, I'm just asking you, how do you feel as you come to the close of your time at high school?
Oh my God. I did go to them before for the entire high school just for sixth form. So I went to Fulbright High School. So big up to my alma mater too. Um, but just the transition of moving from high school, going to UTech in August. I'm pretty nervous, but at the same time excited for a new challenge and a new adventure. And I'm taking God with me because He's been there every step of the way, so I can't leave Him out. So I carried Him with me to college. So He's carried me thus
Amen.
far. So I'll continue on my journey with Him.
Amen to that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Tanika, I leave the last word for you as we wrap up our Let's Talk About It segment. You have been in high school, been in college, Tanika. You started a business. For those persons who might be campus who are listening now, who are disabled or are parents of disabled students, or those persons who are in the community, what way can they support the disabled person, and what would be a word of advice to such a person who is a student at this time?
Wow, very good question. I will say gather your support system together, especially during this time of COVID. We see so many people, with mental health issues, especially in the disabled community here, more so overseas, internationally, the Caribbean. So gather your support system together. Also, put your trust in God because He is the center of all things. He's sweeter than sugar cane, as the song said. In particular, gather around different organizations like the Society for the Blind, the Combined Disability Association, also the Office of Special Student Services, gather information, just believe in yourself. The race is far from over. Only you can cross that finish line.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you guys so much, Tanika. Yes, Jada, and also Jadine. Thank you guys for being with us this evening for Campus Connection.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having
Thank you for
me.
having us.
Why? Me like them. Trust me. Me
Yeah,
like them.
yeah, yeah. These are
Them
some
sweet.
wonderful young ladies.
Of course. Very
And we
impressed.
definitely look forward to hearing what the future holds for them, Pastor Sam.
Of course. Of course. Of course. This feels. I feel like I could get if I could get their autograph, I would try and get it.
Definitely. These are super girls. These
Amazing.
are super girls. They are
Yes,
super.
man. Of course. Hey, it's now time for the feature. I tried Christ. You should try, or you should too. And so we ask you to listen and be blessed.
Good day. My name is Romer Bartley, and I'm going to tell you about a time where I tried Jesus and allowed things to actually be in His hands than to try and control a situation more than I was physically capable of. So, growing up, I've normally tried to control situations as I'm able to. I wasn't necessarily the most confident person. I didn't go out of my comfort zone, and I typically did things that felt okay, things that were everything that I was capable of doing. And for a time that was good, that was okay for me, but over time that became a bit repetitive and it felt as though I'm not doing enough. I would then go out to try doing a bit more and doing stuff a bit out of my comfort zone based off of just where I'm at and what I think I'm capable of. But it wouldn't normally turn out as well because I was normally doing this with just my abilities or with my mindset, where I thought I was and what I thought I was capable of doing on my own. But in all those times, God showed me that you need me in these moments. You need to call on my name in these moments, and that is where your success will be driven from. And this lesson took a while to learn. Took that long that it came into 2019. So around 2019, the ending, I went into a pageant, something that was completely out of my comfort zone, but just to kind of give myself somewhat of a testing ground to really try out this faith thing and putting things in God's hands and balancing work and faith, right? And what I had done was I went to practice for pageant every Wednesday, and though it was not fun all the time, some days were better than others, it did indeed teach me a few things, and it did indeed help me to build that faith. I was constantly a bit tired. I don't want to say tired, but I was constantly uncomfortable with it. And there were days when I'd go home and say, I'm not coming back to this. I don't need to do this. But I came back each time just to ensure that I could prove this to myself, that with enough faith and work, or with some faith and work, this is possible. So I continuously came back. I went all the practices, and then I started on the day of pageant. I sat there and I felt nervous for a couple of seconds, but then I really sat down and said, all right, God, you wanted me here. This is me now putting this in action. So I sat there, I prayed a bit just for some calmness and to remind me that God should be at the forefront of everything. So I was there, and instead of just working off of what I was capable of, I incorporated a lot of faith in God in that moment. And I believe those two really and truly did balance out to some degree. There was not as much faith, but there was some faith, and there's a pretty decent amount of faith. And God shows us that with the amount of faith that we have, then we can actually achieve stuff from even just a little amount of faith. And that's exactly what happened. I came within the top 5, not number 1, but the top 5. I'm not going to say the exact position, but I came within the top 5. And it was a bit shocking, but humbling and eye-opening, because I realized that with the amount of faith that I had, God could have made me come in the top 5. Imagine if I had more, right? And with that concept, I did have more going forward. I did try things that were a bit bigger, things that I wanted to do, such as becoming a head boy. I campaigned all with God. I prayed every day after campaigning, before putting out a flyer and everything. I'd pray, I'd say, God, if it is your will, let this be done. I'd continuously say, alright, read a couple scriptures, try to have faith in everything I'm doing, and balancing out the two, so that way I could have somewhat of a more even balance between work and faith and prayer, right? And I believe that with that combination, that's how I became the head boy for my school and National Council President for the Anglican Youth Fellowship of the Diocese of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. There is and other leadership positions that happen to come by my way, or chances and opportunities that come my way, because I had faith in God in those moments. And even though I did do work, it's not a case where I just sat there and just prayed and hoped everything would be fixed. I did work, I did my part in a sense, and prayed for the other part and ensured that it was somewhat balanced. And I believe so far it has been working for me. I try Jesus, and you should too.
Ready to be do bada dang dang dang. Hey, where the student them see we are. Where the student them see we are. I want a one campus.
That's really nice. I like the testimony, and I I would prefer a head boy faith than a pageant faith. So it work out for you,
Yeah, I love it. And he just mentioned about small steps of faith. So the Bible talks about even having faith as a mustard seed. So that small faith, that small faith, created and it ended up having big results for him. So really proud of that's Romari Bartley there, head boy of St. George's College. And he's the president of the Social Action Society Club. Wonderful stuff there, wonderful stuff.
Yeah. And he's also peer counselor and vice president of Entrepreneurship Club. He's everything, man. That's a lot of faith. That's a lot of faith.
He's launching out. He's launching out. Well. Thank you so much for joining us for another week inside Campus Connection. Thank you so much for making it, being with us here for another Tuesday.
Yes. And we want to say thanks to our producer, Tony K. Bromfield, and also to Nissan Williams for technical support. We want to thank Also, Raheem Betty, you know Raheem by now. He's our education news partner for the month of April. And also, join us next week. We want to say to you for a new student partner. Also to student Jada Cohen and Jodine Garvey, as well as to Tanika Williams, who shared as uh, their experience as persons living with disability and how they are navigating the education and the real world. We say thanks to them also.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So until next week, stay safe, stay sanitized, and stay inside if you can. All right. I'm Claude Wilson, and with me,
Hey, you know, my name is Stevenson Samuels.
God bless you all.
Bless you.